Hi, this is Steve, and in this video I would like to talk about how to live below your means, so stay tuned, subscribe and watch the full video. Before we jump into the details, I think we need to spend a couple of minutes on why is it an important topic and why is it important to live below your means. First of all, you can commit yourself to a goal but you don't understand clearly. People like to say to us that you need to live below your means and save more money, but do you know why is it important, why you need to focus on such a goal? Many different questions can be raised, like why should I need to save more money, what is the reason behind that? How do I know if I already live below my means? Is there any indicator which can present this? Also, in the end, you can ask, what should I do with my saved money? Should I purchase a new car or some other expenses? Now let's find the answers for the mentioned questions. For this, I have collected for you 4 different signs which can present you if you already live below your means. Sign number 1. You have credit card debts. Credit cards are not cheap, however, we still like to use them even if we know that we need to pay higher interest. If you pay back the minimum payment all the time, I have bad news for you. It won't help you to save more money. Therefore, I highly recommend you to pay back all the credit card debts on a monthly basis, as it will help you to avoid debt trap. Sign number 2. You don't have emergency funds. An emergency fund is an amount of money that you save for unexpected events and emergencies. Did you know that most of the people don't have at least 1 month of emergency fund which can cover the average expenses? Just think about it for a second. What will happen if you get sick or maybe you lose your job? How will you cover your current costs? If you don't have at the moment at least an emergency fund which can cover 3 to 6 months of your average expenses, then I have a bad news for you. You still don't live below your means. Sign number 3. You don't save at least 10% of your income. If you don't live already according to this rule, I'm quite sure that you don't have enough saved money and you don't live below your means. The right approach is to save at least 10% of your income, or it is even better if you save 20 to 30%. Of course, in the beginning it's okay if you start with 10%, but later when you get used to it, you can increase this amount to the mentioned percentages. Sign number 4. You make emotional purchases. Emotionally based purchases are the most crucial enemies if you would like to live below your means and save more money. Would you like to spend money on expensive vacations when you didn't plan it originally? Also, would you like to upgrade your phone every single year and buy the latest gadget? Are you sure that you are okay with the mentioned purchases from financial point of view? If you still don't have an emergency fund and you have credit card debts, then you are not on the right path. With the explained 4 signs, it will be easy for you to decide if you already live below your means or not. Right now, let's move to the second question, why you need to live below your means. What is the reason behind this? I think 2020 already proved that the world can change within blink of an eye, as the coronavirus pandemic just changed everything. Many people lost their jobs and I have close connections who are not able to pay their healthcare requirements. Sadly, when we don't have enough money, it can create constant fear and stress, and I assume you don't want to live your life in such a way. All of us would like to live a happy life when we are financially secure. So shortly the answer is you need to start to live below your means for financial security. Don't get me wrong, I don't say that money buys happiness, but when you don't have enough money, it can cause a lot of problem. At this point, you will be able to decide if you are already living below your means and you have a clear explanation why you need to start it as soon as you can. Now we can move to the next step, which will provide you the answer on how to live below your means. For this goal, I have collected you 4 different ways which can help you to start living below your means. Before I share with you the tips, I bet you forgot something. Subscribe. Tip 1. Track your incomes and expenses. It is an essential step if you would like to evaluate how to live below your means. Sit down, take a piece of paper and a pen and write down all of your average expenses, meanwhile collect all your incomes too. In the end of this task, you will have transparent data about how much money you can save by the end of every month. After you have evaluated your current situation, this will be your starting point. However, you need to understand how you can budget your money wisely. For this reason, I have previously created a video about. You can check this out if you click on the screen, and maybe you will get some interesting ideas how to budget your money in the most efficient way. Tip number 2. Reduce your costs. After you have created your first budget plan, you need to work on constantly how to increase the amount of saved money. For this purpose, you can do two different things. First, you can decrease your expenses, and secondly, you can boost up your income. Now let's talk only about your expenses. Fortunately, there are several ways if you would like to decrease your expenses, like you can start to spend less money on groceries. Food can play a significant part in our budget, and if you choose your food selection wisely, then it can save more money for you. Secondly, you can start to avoid different psychological tricks that different shops like to apply on us. If you can keep in mind these kind of tricks, you can save a lot of money. Furthermore, you can analyze your housing costs and overheads, and you can decide where you are able to cut. Another great idea if you would like to cut off your costs, if you evaluate your current lifestyle expenses. Maybe you go out too frequent with your friends, or you spend too much money on clothes. It's only you who can decide where you are able to cut. Lastly, you can evaluate your traveling cost and choose a more affordable if you have any chance. To wrap up this, you can take action nearly all on your expenses. Of course, there are debts that you need to pay. You need to exclude them because there is no chance to cut them off. Meanwhile, you can save money on your housing costs, on grocery shoppings, on lifestyle changes, and so on. Moreover, if you would like to get more details about the mentioned expense categories, I highly recommend you to check out my previous video, How to Save Money, because I have provided a very detailed analysis regarding the mentioned costs. Tip 3. Boost up your income. In parallel with minimizing your expenses, you can also start to focus on increasing your revenue. Regarding your extra income, you have one simple rule. You can't spend it immediately. Your hard work won't pay off properly if you always convert the extra income into new expenses. Consider this money as some kind of extra amount which will bring you closer to your goal, which is to save more and more money. At this point, you can decide how would you like to increase your income. Gladly, there are many different ways. It only depends on you where you would like to start. Firstly, you can start to establish a side hustle which won't require too much time and money from your side. Meanwhile, it can bring a small amount of extra money. Secondly, you can put more time and effort into your career and focus on increasing your salary as much as you can. Lastly, you can find many different opportunities how to start to earn money online. Personally, I highly recommend this type of income for you because there are a couple of ways how you can start to earn money online. Meanwhile, it won't require too much money and effort from your side. On the internet, you can sell everything, like you can apply for freelancing jobs, you can sell photography, ebook, resell other stuff, and so on. It only depends on you which is close to you. At this point, if you take my advice, you won't focus only on one income pillar because, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, uncertainty can lead to complete changes. Unexpected events can happen, and if you have only one income pillar, everything can be changed within a blink of an eye, and this means that you can lose everything. However, if you have 2 or 3 different income sources, that means if one of your income pillar collapses, you won't get frustrated because the rest of them will be okay and cover your expenses. All in all, make sure that you constantly focus on establishing more and more income sources. Tip 4. Improve your money mindset. Now you can look strange at me and ask, what kind of money mindset are you talking about? Living below your means and saving more money, it's not a short-term commitment from your side, but rather a lifestyle. When I started to deepen my knowledge about this topic, I already realized a few interesting things on myself. Firstly, I started to realize that I try to control my emotional purchases. When something just pops into my mind, I always ask the same question: will it bring joy to my life? This kind of question can help me to think twice before I make any purchase. Instead of focusing on consuming, like buying new clothes, dresses, cars, phones, gadgets and so on, I noticed on myself that I started to think about how to add extra income pillars into my life. Personally, I'm constantly thinking about how to invest my money and how I will be able to earn more even if I don't put extra effort to these kind of investments in the future. Shortly, I would like to know how to earn money even when I am sleeping. Lastly, my financial goals are changed in a drastic way. Nowadays, I don't want to impress my friends and unknown people. For example, if I buy a new car or wearing luxurious clothes, it doesn't matter for me. I have only one goal: to have a financial independent free life. I don't care about anymore what other people say. I just would like to be happy and do whatever I want and don't care about money. To sum up this whole topic, you can take many actions if you would like to start to live below your means. Nobody will stop you to make the right financial decisions. However, sometimes it requires sacrifices and high efforts from your side. So that was all for today. I hope you enjoyed my video about how to live below your means. And as always, please don't forget to subscribe, check out my other videos, and see you next week.